Hi everyone, welcome to Tarot Map. This is Kasia. In today's video, I want to share with you and teach you how to look for tips in your astrology chart around your vocation and career. So, finding your purpose and little indications in your astrological chart of what could be the possibly the best path for you when it comes to career and vocation. So we are going to do it on my chart. My chart will be the example, and I will teach you how you can read it for yourself, because I'm going to give you not just the signs, but we're going to work through the elements. And I think it's going to be quite easy for you to figure that out if you have your own chart. And if it's too difficult, you can always reach out to myself or any other astrologer and, get a life purpose reading for yourself. Let's jump straight in straight right in. We are going to focus on tropical chart in this case because I think most of you know how to find your tropical sign, your tropical chart. You can use either astro.com or astroseek.com, and both of these websites, provide a they provide free charts. Okay, so what we want to look at here and what I want you to pay attention to when it comes to vocation point, you will be looking for, let me just close that off for a sec. You will be looking for a couple of points. Okay, I wanted to hide my, okay, that should be okay. So you will be looking for a couple of points. What we want to see first, it's to find your sun. Sun always gives some form of indication of where we need to shine and, where our kind of battery lies. So you will look for your sun and you will see what star sign your sun is in. In my case, it's a fire sign of Sagittarius. You will see that all the fire signs are marked red. So Aries is a fire sign, Leo is a fire sign. Earth signs are green, air signs are orange, and then water signs are blue. So first you're going to figure out your element. Most of you probably will know it, that's very easy. And if you look for the purpose, your sun in certain elements, so fire signs, if you have a sun in a fire sign, you will be drawn to vocations that offer a lot of freedom, that offer you self-governing, or a lot of independence. You will be motivated by challenge, a little bit of adventure, maybe a lot of movement. You won't mind that. If your sun is in earth sign, you will be drawn to careers and vocations which provide security and like a steady development path or steady income or opportunities to create something tangible, something practical, something visible. Let's not forget that earth signs are very productive and very creative as well, especially if you have your sun in Taurus. It's ruled by Venus. A lot of artists are also born with this sign of Taurus. So you can be drawn to work with body, with earth, with beauty or money. If your sun is in air sign, you will gravitate towards work with people. You will feel maybe more social. You will want to share information. You would like to have a variety and communicate what you learn. Especially that's true for the signs of Gemini and Libra. Aquarians sometimes tend to be more tend more towards this, crazy scientists. They like to not necessarily straight away work with everybody else, but they like to figure out things that can be good for communities or for the world. They're futuristic. Water people, if you have a sun in Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, you guys are well suited for vocations that involve a lot of nurturing, caring, healing. Also, for like you have great imagination and intuition. So sometimes, work for advertising companies or visioning designs, etc. You will be also not minding working behind the scenes, and you will be very social as well in a sense, but more as in this caring and providing roles. So when you look at your sun, you can also look at the sun signs, but we are not going to go into this today. So first you look what element your sun is in. Then we are going to take a look at the houses. So areas of life, here we have our ascending sign, and it marks the first house. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are 12 houses. And what are you going to be looking for is house number 10, which is started usually with this point, MC. Medium coeli, it's vocational point. This is where we in astrology readings look to what is your public face, what is your soul chosen, what has your soul chosen, and how it likes to express itself in the most visible place. It's top of the chart most often, and this is the vocation point starts the house number 10, which you can see here. So you will look for vocation point and you will look for house number 10. This is your most visible career, vocation, job related house. The other one is house number 6. So it's in my chart, this one over here. And the last one is house number 2. Oops, we went too far. House number 2. In everybody's chart, if you use Placidus, these houses will have different sizes, so don't worry about it unless you use whole sign or equal houses, then they will be the same. So when we look for the work houses, vocational potential, so the MC and the 10th house speaks again, as I said, about social and public role, top of the chart, about your status, reputation, what truly fulfills you at work as well. It's not necessarily always even connected to work, but if you do what your potential says and points towards, this is what this should suggest what you would be fulfilled in, what you would like to be recognized for. So if your vocation point, like if we look at my vocation point here, my vocation point is 23 degrees in Aries. Can you see this? 23 degrees, and the zodiac sign, it kind of falls in this part of the ecliptic that's fixed to Aries. So we would like to see that my vocation point is in fire sign. Fire people again tend to strive for create, like what we would like to be recognized for as fire people. We would like to be recognized for our creativity, for our inspirational, spiritual, adventurous accomplishment. We are not afraid to, we're not good followers. We rather like trade our own paths. So this would be specifically geared towards Leo's, Aries, and Sagittarius people, right? So look at your vocation point, find this MC point in your chart, see what sign it is in and what this sign's element is. If this element for you is in earth, you would be more drawn, or you would like to be recognized for your financial accomplishments. You may be more drawn to like career and vocation in finances, in something stable and tangible, more practical, but also in creative or artistic, sensual kind of jobs that, massage therapists, herbalists, people who work with earth, people who work with design, some beauty, kind of creating beauty in the world. If your vocation point is in the element of air, you would like to be drawn more to intellectual, social, and science pursuits. And that's where the recognition would, be found for you. So often with air signs like Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, we find a lot of scientists, we find a lot of journalists, teachers, people who like to communicate and be with other people, people who like to be social and who like to exchange information and bring, this mental quality, and are often recognized for their intellectual capacity. And if your vocation point is in water signs, you will be recognized, or you would want to be recognized for your emotional healing, nurturing, and caring abilities. Often water signs tend to be very nurturing to other people. They feel fulfilled when they can be of service to others, but also they have great intuitive and imaginative qualities. So they often do really well in jobs that require visioning and, inventing things and feeling into like social currents, so they're great in advertising on any type of envisioning and tuning into what people would like and want. So then you would look also, like in my case, you can see that I have also the fixed earth sign intercepted in my 10th. So not only will be my vocational house connected to fire, but also it includes earth element. So I will kind of tend to be gearing towards both of them, right? Here with the second house, this is the last house that, actually, no, wait. So let's go to the next house that's important for work. First, I would look to vocation point and the 10th house. And then I would always look towards the sixth house, because sixth house is also a house of work. It's the house related to earth element Virgo. In general, when you look at the houses that are connected to work, they are earth element houses. Second house, it's ruled by Taurus. Sixth house, it's ruled by Virgo. And 10th house, it's ruled by Capricorn. So here the earth element signs in general will be, if you have a lot of earth in your chart, you can think about that work will be quite important for you, and it is something that this lifetime you may have chosen to like challenge yourself with. So the sixth house, how does it differ from the 10th? This is a house that shows mostly what do you need in the daily routines of your working environment, because this is a house of day-to-day things, of responsibilities, obligations, duties, basic approach to your work and daily habits. It's also a house of health. So if a lot of people, like if you have a lot of planets in the sixth house, from my experience, I always, if I see people with a lot of planets in the sixth house, I always know that they have a special gift for healing, because it's a Virgo house, it's a house connected to healing. And if you have a lot of personal planets over there, you know that you have to tap into your healing ability. But if your sixth house is starts, like let's say I have no planets in the sixth house, what you will look for is this first, the beginning of the sixth house. This is where the fifth house ends and sixth house begins. And for me, it falls in Capricorn, right? So I would have Earth approach to the sixth house, and Earth people need in their daily routines for the like working environment, what would help me to evoke my fire vocation point is structure and some stability and planning, which, oh my God, is not my strongest point, but this is what will help me. This is the map. This is what tells me what would be easy for me or easier for me to do. If I did it, I could fulfill my vocational points of inspiration much easier. So, here we have that advice. So if you have sixth house starting with the earth sign, it's structure, stability, planning, something that, you have a little bit like kind of control over. If your sixth house starts with fire element, you will need actually a lot of freedom to pursue your goals, and you need a lot of independence and some jobs that day to day keep your inspiration going. If your sixth house starts in air element, you will need a lot of contact with people. You will actually need to talk to people. You will need a variety maybe in your jobs. You will need mental stimulation. And if your sixth house starts in water, you also will need a lot of opportunities to give, but also to receive nurturance. And again, this intuition and imagination and healing water element, embraces these qualities a lot. So the last house we are going to be looking at when it comes to figuring out what's the best pathway for your vocation, or like the, tips for your jobs is the second house. The second house is ruled by Taurus usually, so by a fixed earth sign again. And the second house speaks about our values, what we value, and it speaks about resources and our assets. And these assets often we tend to just accumulate as money and finances, but these are also our assets when it comes to talents and our gifts, right? So your second house points towards your key resources and talents and assets, not just physical ones. So if you're not sure what your second house, like in my case, if we look at my chart, I'm not sure, is my second house starting in Virgo or at the end of Leo, right? Here at the end of this table, you have ascendant 12 degrees Leo, second house 29 degrees Leo, 35 minutes. So for me, it still is in Leo, but I would also look at Virgo. So again, for people to best attract and use my resources, my talents, and fulfill this kind of potential of our abilities. I would look for fire, yeah, right? So you look where your second house starts, what sign is over here. Fire is inspirational resources. This is what I can bring to the table: ability to envision, to inspire, to fire up people, to, move people to do something, to create goals and to create new vistas, new paths. But also I would look to Earth, because my whole second house is actually in Virgo. So Earth would be my material resources. And here you can think of strong and healthy body. It can be a way to, you have ability to create tangible results. You have maybe patient approach to things. You can have this creative or artistic outlook on life as well. If you have air element where your second house started, think of your gifts from the perspective of mental resources. You can be great with, birthing ideas, communication, sharing information and facts, connecting the dots, socializing and bringing people together. And then if your second house starts in water sign, think of your gifts from the perspective of emotional resources. You may have great ability to be a good listener, to create safe space for people, to use your intuition and imagination to heal, to nurture others, and to care for other people. So I would like you to think about your vocation point in this way. So to summarize, first of all, look towards your sun and what element your sun is in, what house it is in. We're going to cover in different video. Then look towards your vocation point, because vocation point shows your, it's the top part of the chart. It's your social status, social phase, and what you would like to be recognized for. And then you're looking to the 10th house and the elements connected to this point. Then you will be looking to the 6th house and what sign and element starts the 6th house, and if you have any planets there or not. And then at the end, you look also towards the 2nd house and what sign begins the 2nd house, and if you have any elements and planets there or not. This is a very basic, very, very basic kind of tips on how you can start looking if you maybe, fulfilling your potential for the right career for yourself. But planets in those houses are very important, the aspects between those planets. And in general, ascendant is also very important in this type of work or related issues and questions. So think about it from the perspective of like venturing into your chart through the elements. It's very easy to do, and I gave you simple steps, but then you can expand on your knowledge of elements. You can expand on your knowledge of astrology and how the planets also influence that vocation part. As I said, you can do it yourself or you can get a reading from any astrologer. Of course, I will invite you to check out my life purpose readings on my website. It's an in-depth astrology session, but we mostly will focus on your potentials, your goals, and your psychological build-up and what would make you happy. We also do your personal cycles at the same time and how this year shows up for you and what part of the cycles are you in right now, because the cycles from the perspective of astrology don't go from year to year. You can be in the middle, at the beginning, or maybe at the end of a cycle. And I think that's very confirmatory and very important and helpful, especially in those years when we going through big transformations. So take a look at the tropical readings that I offer. They are called life purpose readings. And other than that, you can also get the spiral astrology, which is the real sky, true sidereal astrology reading, which is truly as above, so below. Tropical shows the dance of seasons and how we actually find ourselves and reconnect to the earth based on our dance with the sun. So in a way, also celestial. Okay, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I speak to you soon.